Hello, my name is Seb, and welcome to part 1 of my series. It's a Jump Inside special, and we're going to be talking about the game GTA. And we're going to be talking some things that I actually enjoy about the series of GTA. Let's get started. So we're going to start off by talking about the protagonist of Grand Theft Auto. For me, the protagonist is one of the key elements of the game. You've got to love who you're playing as. And whether it's Michael, Trevor, or Franklin, whether it's Nico from Grand Theft Auto 4 or it's Carl Johnson from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, you've got to have strength in those characters that you develop. These characters have history. These characters have some real life challenges that they go through. And they're so connectable because they feel so human. But one of the main things about being and acting as a protagonist in Grand Theft Auto, as they create these characters, they voice act them, and they develop them, and they build a life around them. What's really important that they do in this is that they make sure that these characters have to be likable. See, there is a certain way on these characters when this game builds them. And that weight right there is the fact that these characters that this game creates, they have to make them. They have to allow them to carry the story, to carry the likability of the entire franchise. Two of the key points that I believe what GTA has to achieve when it creates its games is making sure the protagonist is a key detail in the story. They have to make sure that the protagonist can carry the weight of the franchise. Otherwise, if the character's boring, then we're not gonna enjoy the game themselves. If we don't connect to the characters in the story, we won't enjoy the game as a whole and we'll stop playing it halfway. So the character has to be developed well. The other key feature that we'll get into a future video is the actual map. The map is the other thing that I feel is very, very important in the whole situation, where you do need to make sure that you have a good map. I will continue that in another video, but right now, what's developed in the character is super important. And these characters all have history. You've got Carl Johnson has had a history because he left Grove Street and he came back to it right at the beginning of the game. And with Michael, you get a bit of history in that game with Trevor, and you get to see the prequel, and that kind of builds into how the game allows itself to progress as soon as we start seeing the story. We get a hint of detail of what happened in the past. And with Nico, you know that there's a history. He had to come away from his country, and he's joining his cousin, who's meant to be this all big thing, and it just turns out he isn't. And it's not just the characters we play as that have to be important, it also the characters that we interact with as we progress through the story have to have their own life, have to have their own history, have to have their own build-up. And it shows that as we meet different characters throughout the game, and it shows us the attitude, and it really shows off how good Rockstar are at getting people in and voice acting them to the point that they want. And all their games really show this. It's brilliant how they pick the right people and how they make them voice act to the way that they want them, and to see how that actually progresses through the game. It's amazing to see how Rockstar choose their voice actors and allow them to take a leading role in this game. And they seem to choose them right every time, because all their games are incredible when it comes to characters. All the characters that they create in this game are absolutely amazing. Whether it's the characters you play as or it's the characters you interact with, character development is important. And in this new Grand Theft Auto 6 game, we're going to see Lucia taking on that role of being the protagonist. And I wish all the best, that she does a fantastic job in this, because she is hopefully going to ace this role. Otherwise, Rockstar would not have chosen her. And I just can't wait to see what we're going to do as we play as Lucia in the year 2025. So good luck to the game, and I'll see you on part 2 of this Grand Theft Auto series. I'll see you then. Goodbye.